how can dance help me if I'm sad?
The powerful thing about dance is that it makes us recognize our body.
I was scrolling through TikTok and I ran into this bodybuilder's page. And it was like, if I see any man in dance class, I would disgrace you.
What? So first is the idea of him seeing it as an entertainment that makes him think a man should not dance.
Yeah.
Because as a man, like, entertainment should be the last thing you should be doing.
Mind.
Like, you should be hustling, bro. Is your brother walking? You're like, yes, he's a dancer. And you could see it on his face, like,
shit down when I walk.
Shit down when I walk. And I woke up in a minute and I started to see
everything.
Jokudak, and it was shocking. I was trying to be sure. Went to itsBoye, went everywhere, went to her page. I saw that she posted some things on her story, and I was like, I wasn't all week. I cried. Like, anytime any of my friends call me and we start talking, I'm crying.
Welcome to the Bro Are You Okay podcast, where we hold space for men to talk about mental health, identity, and some things in between. Today, I have an amazing guest with me. His name is Phaith. He's a dancer and a filmmaker, amongst other things that he will tell us today. And if you go to his page, you will see that he had dreads before, but now he has cut it. So I don't know why, but we'll get into that. But before we get into that, you guys have sent us some anonymous messages, and we're going to go through it and discuss on it. Are you ready?
Let's go.
The question was, bro, are you okay? And people sent in their responses. This person said it's been rough, it's been messy, it's been tight. At times, I just feel like throwing in the towel. I want to almost go crazy most times, but through it all, I learned to pull through. I learned to pull through that I'm the only one who can take me out of me. I almost let go of my skill, my passion, and my zeal, but he showed up. What do you think? I mean, as coming from someone that is into performance, can I call it performative art?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What can you say to what we just read? What will you tell this person if this person told this to you in person?
I think we'll have to read that again so I can soak it in.
Okay, so the person just said that he has been through a lot, and at some point he felt like throwing in the towel. You know what that means now? Yeah, so, but he came to realize that he's the only one that can help himself out of his situation, and he almost lost zeal, passion, gave up on his talent and all of that. But I mean, he was able to pull himself out of it. So I mean, I'm sure there are other people that have been or are in that position, and based on what you do, let's leave filmmaking on the side. As a dancer, as a choreographer, how do you think people can ease off or feel better? How do you think they can feel better? How can guys feel better?
I think that question is very subjective, because everyone has or everyone knows what they're going through, and the way you can feel better is subjected to your environment and things that you are open to, that you see. But it's hard for us to really see what is within us because we are always looking out. So one way I would tell them is look within, and stop looking outside. Look within. Ask the deeper questions that you've been running away from, and just stay true to yourself and keep asking the questions that you're running away from. Because really, if we tend to really focus on ourselves, ask ourselves questions. I mean, when I mean questions, I don't mean how it will be or what will I eat, stuff like that. Like, why am I like this?
Yeah. What's the problem?
What's the problem? Where did it start from? Who am I becoming right now? Who can I become if I do this? So all of those questions are what we should always ask ourselves, and the honest questions can come from ourselves, and people perspective or response could just be a way to spot out what we think connects or what doesn't connect, and we filter it. But yeah, the ways that you can feel better is just ask yourself the deep questions and find the answers within you and your environment.
So based on looking into ourselves as well, I've heard of situations where people are like, oh, I don't care what people say. I'm not living my life for them and all of that. And I feel like that is just a mask to you actually taking a back seat and looking at yourself that, okay, if 5, 6, 7 people are saying this about me, do you think that it might actually be correct?
No.
So, I mean, because for me, maybe because I'm big on impression, and in as much as I'm not trying to live for people, I am careful about how I present myself so that I will not have to ask myself that question, why are they seeing me like this? Do you understand? But I mean, even regardless, people will still say what they want to say.
Definitely.
The most important is that we don't allow people's impression or rule how we live our lives. Now, as a dancer and as a choreographer, has anybody ever asked you the question because I mean, there are dancers that dance is therapeutic to them. And I think that there are people that have classes for people to come and, dance your way to freedom or dance your way to feel better.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever asked you that, like, how does it work? Like, how can dance help me if I'm sad? So answer that question.
How can dance help you if you're sad? You see, the powerful thing about dance is that it makes us recognize our body, because we as human, we are always in our mind and we don't tend to focus on what the body is saying. So dance is that language that speaks through the body and makes you recognize what the body is saying. It takes you deeper into another kind of language that is different from what your eyes is saying. Because what your eyes sees goes to your head and kind of like creates an image. But the body does not see anything. The body only feels. So imagine tapping into your body that only feels what touches it, what pierces it, what what it feels like, is magical. So again, it takes a lot of listening
To
yourself, vulnerability, trusting, and just moving. These are the things that I tell people when I'm giving workshops, because you can't, because of it's called dance, doesn't mean you have to move all the time. It's not about movement all the time. It's really knowing why you're moving or what you're moving to. So if dance, or if you want dance to be a therapeutic form for you, you just have to listen to whoever is guiding you or listen to what the body is saying at that moment in time. Yeah.
Do you think anybody can dance?
Yes, anybody can dance. Anybody can dance.
Some of us don't have hope.
Anybody, see, anybody can dance, but not everybody has the techniques to dance. You get, like I said, dance is movement. And what is movement? Taking the body between a particular space. And it's also in time. Yeah. So you're moving here and there and there in time. Yeah. But can everybody be a dancer? Like a dancer? No, not everybody can be a dancer. But everybody can dance.
So I think a few months ago, I was scrolling through TikTok and I ran into this bodybuilder's page. And it was like, if I see any man in dance class, I would disgrace you.
What?
Why man they go dance class for gym? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, this person is just an uneducated fool.
Yeah.
That was just the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah.
And I kind of asked some other people too that what do you think about guys just to pick their brain in dance class. I'm like, hey, why? I feel like, and I came to realize that a lot of people are in that same thoughts too. That because I enjoy going to dance class at the gym.
Yeah.
After I've done every other thing I need to do, I don't mind joining the dance class because I enjoy it and I feel better. But what will you say to someone that has that mentality? Because I feel like a lot of us should, if something is not right, something is not right. So if you think in a very stupid way, you should hear it we should just be scrolling one day and you should see this podcast that somebody called you stupid and you should feel stupid.
Yeah.
What would you say to that kind of person?
Well, you see, to that kind of person, like, that's why this podcast is important. Is to ask the person, bro, are you okay?
Actually, are you okay?
Because that's not just a person saying, oh, men should not dance. Is what he perceives life to be. You get a lot of people perceive dance to be just an entertainment and everything, and a lot of men feel like as a man you should not focus so much on enjoyment, entertainment. You should be a provider. You should be a protector. You should be masculine. You should be strong and everything. And they see you dancing and I'm like, you're weak, bro. You're weak, bro. Why are you trying to make everybody happy? But I'm not trying to make everybody happy. I'm trying to make myself happy. I'm trying to release the tension. I'm trying to release the stress. I'm trying to release every expectation that everybody's putting on me. And I'm trying to pass a message to myself or to anybody who cares to listen. But not everybody sees it that way. Everybody just wants to like, bro, you're just entertaining. You're just shaking your body and moving your body and everybody's just laughing. It's not about everybody. It's not about everybody. Life is not about people outside of my life. Like, why can't I just do it for myself? So first is the idea of him seeing it as an entertainment that makes him think a man should not dance.
Yeah.
Because as a man, like, entertainment should be the last thing you should be doing. Like, you should be hustling, bro. You should be trying to make some money and, take care of your family. But a lot of we dancers have not just found dance as a hobby, but also as a way to put food to the table, So we are doing what we love to do. That's making us happy, and we're also making money, and it's our job. So he needs to understand that first, and if he doesn't, then we'll keep on asking him if he's okay.
Do you get? Because I'm like, another thing is, the dance class is there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
If it was just for girls, we would have put it on the
Just
entrance.
girls.
Just girls can do dance class.
Mm-hmm.
And, it just brings out the fact that some men feel like they are in the place to dictate what other men should do.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, so far you're not paying me. So far, I do not talk to you and you do not talk to me. You do not have the right to dictate how I should act, and live my life. What is the biggest stereotype with dancers?
Generally, for women, like, they are prostitutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for guys?
For guys, that they are broke. When a guy tells you that, oh, I dance, the first thing they will look like, does it give you money?
Yeah.
Like, I was stopped yesterday with my sister going, to pick up something. And then he asked my sister, what do you do? And she said, she's into cosmetic, beauty, eyelashes and brows. And he asked, is your brother working? I'm like, yes, he's a dancer. And you could see it on his face, like,
she don't wanna walk.
She don't wanna walk. You get, so yeah.
I mean, that's from a man to another man.
A man from another man. So yeah, a lot of us face that, and I think now everybody has just come to the realization that your own thought does not affect my own
Plus,
belief and everything. So we are just moving and trying to, forge alliance and make sure that we show up for each other and do what is necessary and also contribute to society in the best way that we can. Yeah.
so remember when we were talking earlier before the cameras came
Yeah.
in, and I asked that, when last did you cry? And you said you have not cried in a very long time. And there was something you said. Do the tears mean? I can't remember exactly what you said. There was a phrase that you gave.
Does cry mean that you are hard? Does
Yes, yes,
crying
yes,
mean
yes. I
that you're
called you
hard or
hard
soft?
guy.
Yeah, hard
Yes,
guy, yeah.
yes, yes. So, how do you express yourself? Have you ever been in a have you ever been in a situation where you were just I've been in a situation where I felt so full. You know moments when you feel like you want to explode? Because like I was just getting hits from this side, from that side, from this side, from this side. I just started crying. And the way I was crying was because it was like I just needed to release that. I was in the balcony that day. It was like 1 a.m. and I was just pouring everything out. Pouring was bah, 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 bah. And I don't think I've cried like that again in a while. But have you ever felt that overwhelmed? And how did you release the energy?
The only time that I've cried, the way like cry really is when I lost someone.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm sure you know her picture Kodak.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
the
yes.
girl that
Yeah. That was 2020, right?
yeah, thereabouts. I know. So like when the news broke out and everything, it was midnight that I just woke up. Funny enough, I was supposed to call her the evening before the night, but I just slept off and I woke up in the midnight and I started to see
Everything.
picture Kodak, and it was shocking. I was trying to be sure. Went to Instablog, went everywhere, trying to be. Went to her page. I saw that she posted some things on her story, and I was like, I wasn't until in the morning when, because we were in a collective, a dance company where we were creating a dance piece that was set to like tour Europe and America, and they broke the news, and I'm like, oh, picture Kodak is gone. I've never felt that kind of pain before. It felt like something was new, like just piercing me, And that was when I cried a lot. Like that whole week, I cried. Like anytime any of my friends call me and we start talking, I'm crying. Like my brother or my sister come into the room and they always come to check up on me and see if I'm crying and everything. And also, then the last time I cried was when we did her when we did her remembrance, and I did a performance dedicating it to her. And after the performance, I just went backstage and I started crying. And yeah, stuff like that. But have I ever felt that kind of pain before? That overwhelming feeling? Not that I can remember, but definitely I know some part in my life I have. But because I'm a very pragmatic person, very logical with the way I do things. So I always, have conversations with myself, ask the questions, reflect, and try to solve my problem by myself. Which is a wrong thing. You should not always try to solve problem by yourself. You should at least find someone or find, a space that is very safe for you to like express. But I am always like in that space of mind, asking, juggling the whole thought and finding ways, solutions, and then I find it and I just move on with life. Yeah.
That's deep. I mean, I've had experiences with loss of friends, and I think there's one that still hits very deep. This guy was a content creator. I mean, content creation wasn't a thing then. This was 2021 or 2022. And, people were still trying to find their path with content creation. And I could see the zeal that this boy was always putting into it. And you know what's funny is he had people that were in places that could help him, in people that were in entertainment that could help, and they were not doing it. And he was just always pushing, and I enjoyed it because those are the things. That's what I do too. I always like to push myself. And he had an accident. It was a trailer and when I just heard that thing that night, I texted him. I actually texted his number.
To be sure.
That is it for real? Because I was very angry that this is someone that his friends or the people we knew him with could have helped. But he didn't even get to taste the joy that comes with what you do. Before I was very, very sad. I still get reminders of his birthday every year. Because and I purposely did not remove it because that was a way for me to remember him. And I mean, it's sad. Losing someone is sad, but life goes on.
Were you angry because people did not help him or because he died?
So I was angry
and he
because
had a lot to live.
Yes. I was just, it was just a lot of emotions. I mean, people that were close to this person will help strangers.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like, they'll randomly help strangers, randomly give strangers money and stuff like that. But this is someone that's passionate about what he does. And that's the problem I have with, because we talked about it yesterday, circle culture and all of that. I mean, help your friend when your friend is still alive. Do you get? And everybody knows me that once there's an opportunity, I'm spreading it. I'm sharing it to everybody's WhatsApp because you don't know what that opportunity is going to do for that person.
All right.
Even if it doesn't go through, you know that you have helped somebody. Right. And that's what matters. So back to your dreads. Have you ever been profiled because of how you look? Like, because of the way you look and the way you've presented yourself? Or let's just say how you look. As it's I don't know if I'll call it inspired, but as it's inspired the way people reacted to you or talked to you or listened to you, especially when you're on your dreads.
Yeah, like they will see the dread and the first thing they will think is he a criminal? Is he a serious somebody? Because it's just the way we have built the culture of how you look is, how you will be, how people will perceive you, and not
getting to know who you
really are. You get? So we have always had that ideology that to look smart, you need to have a low cut, you need to have your beards, you need to have this trimmed out, you need to do that and that.
Yeah.
Too many expectations and stuff like that. But yeah, I've had a lot of scenarios where they will just look at you and they'll be like, why you save the way why you save get this dread and you be fine boy and you be this thing, you look this thing, but why the dread? I'm like, does the dread take away anything from who this
really
person inside of that's carrying this dread is? So we are always looking at the surface of things and not the inner depth or of the person.
So I mean, now that you've cut your dreads, what's the difference? Like, is there a difference between, do people treat you differently now that your hair is cut?
Of course.
And you're enjoying it, right?
It's not because of them I cut the dread. No, I just needed to try something new, and just feel fresh again and have some air and sun touch my hair and stuff like that. But yeah, like the few times that I drive maybe there's a police check in the front, and I'm just like, and they just look at me and they just like. But back then, if I had done that with my dread, first they're like, pack. You get, but now they see me as, oh, this might be a banker. This might be a businessman.
And that's just Nigeria.
It's crazy. So yeah, like I've been passing the police freely without any stops and all.
I mean, I've tried everything.
Yeah.
There was a time that I dyed my hair platinum blonde. My father, I am
Attention.
Father. I am my father.
Attention.
Why do you be dyeing your hair? You're a woman. Ah. Then after that, I went bald. Why did you cut your hair? What are you going through? Some people feel like you cut your hair because you're going through something, especially when you're bald. And I think I cut it again recently. And unfortunately, it was the period my grandma passed. So people were like, oh, is it because of grandma that you cut your hair? I was like, I didn't even know she was going to die. I just cut my hair because I wanted to grow it again. Yeah. And I feel like with every new hairstyle you do, it unlocks a different level of beauty and confidence. So you see this hair that I'm on now, I am liking it. I'm happy that I can wake up tomorrow and change it.
It's
and don't understand. Do you get?
It's good. Also, like to what you said, I wanted us to spot on why a lot of people don't see the need to express themselves when someone reach out to them. Like what you said now, when you barbed your hair, you might be going through something, but because the way the person asked, is it because of this that made you barb your hair? That kind of question might make the person already feel the need not to listen, because you're already creating a scenario to why. You're not even asking to listen. You're asking to judge. Or to get the fact of if you are actually right on why this person cut your hair. You could just ask, like, why did you barb your hair? Are you okay? Like, why did you barb your hair? Or just, why did you barb your hair?
Ask.
Just genuinely ask, and don't tag anything to it and like, what's going on? There's a way you just throw that question and it just shocks the person, like, why is this person asking?
That's why the bro, are you okay question can mean different things to different people. There's the, are you okay? Like, correct. And there's the, okay, it's like everything actually okay with you.
Yeah.
And the what's it called? The automatic answer is I'm great. I'm good. But like, are you actually really
okay?
Yeah. So to wrap it up, let's talk a little bit about filmmaking. And have you had a personal project as a filmmaker?
Yeah, I'm currently working on my first character-driven documentary film.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tell me a bit about the film, about what you're working on.
Oh yeah, it's about a dancer, in Kaduna, whose life straddles between two words. The trauma of loss and growing up in a ethno-religious community that is divided, and also the hope that he channels through dance and cultural projects, cultural festivals and all. So it's kind of like observing his approach to it, observing the why, observing the how, and observing what, all of that. So yeah, I'm just going with my camera and my questions, my curiosity to kind of like explore his world and make sense out of it.
I love documentaries. I feel like people should watch more documentaries. I mean, I'm in my documentary era. I think I'm going to grow out of it. But watching documentaries has opened my mind. I'm more educated. And now I'm realizing, so this happened.
Yeah.
So this happened. That happened. This, you get this.
Because it's real life.
Do you get? Yeah. So I think we should open the way for more documentaries. I think Nigerian filmmakers should start exploring
more documentaries.
I mean, it is more tasking as regards gathering information, research, and all of that. But I'm sure we'll get there. Definitely. But have you ever had this doubt as a filmmaker? Like, is it going to do well? Am I going to get the numbers? Because I mean, Nigeria is very number driven. Have you ever felt like that? And how did you get yourself out of that thought?
So, because I'm more of a community person and a legacy driven person. I'm more about building legacy and impacting. Yeah. So numbers, I'm not really so interested in numbers. What I'm more interested in are people participating, not just watching or sending the fires and sending the loves on Instagram and all, but are people participating in the sense of, oh, bro, I love this thing that you're doing. How can I help? Oh, bro, I love
Yeah,
this thing that
can
you're
be
doing. There's
part of
someone in
it.
my community that, is going through this and I'm going to share it with this person. Oh, there's this thing that you did that inspired me. Oh, there's this thing that is making me do this thing. And, so that's what me I'm more interested in. How do we participate? How do we build a project that outlives me?
And drive
And
impact.
drives impact. So numbers is good, but it's not on my top list of
Priority.
what I need to achieve.
And I feel like a lot of time, because creators are looking for numbers, they forget that there's a message that you have to pass
So
across.
it's not even creators looking for numbers. Is the structure that has been placed in value, the economic value, especially and this structure is being developed by marketers, by um executive
Yeah,
people, PR people,
sponsors.
sponsors, and everything. So automatically, you as a creator who wants to make money first, who wants to live the life, who wants influence, who wants fame, automatically just drive into their hands and they catch you and be like, oh yes, now you're with us. You have to follow this pattern. You have to make this. You have to do this algorithm and everything. And yeah, so if we as creative can decide our metrics, and say this is what success looks like for me, every other thing will either come or not
Or
come.
not.
But are you achieving the sole purpose of what you're doing, which is either to impact people or to have
Sending a
people
message.
or send a message. But if it's about the numbers, doesn't mean that you're not creating art. You are, but it's just your goal is to make sure that you have enough people clicking and viewing, which is also good because the more people click, the more people watch, the more people see,
The more you're rich.
the more you're rich, and also the more the message goes. But we as creatives or we as people should not focus on the clicks, because the moment we focus on the clicks, we focus on what people want and not what we
What we
want to
want,
give
yeah.
people. That's where the message starts, looking jarring and you're like, oh, what should I give? Then you go into creative block and you're like, oh, these people, they were happy with this and that and this. But what if you create from the inner part of you? What if you just create and just test? You create something and you throw it out and see how they react to it. Okay, maybe they started to become ball at this point. Okay, they stayed more on this place. Okay, how can I intensify this? How can I refine this? Not to change or not to drop it, but to refine it and just pick it up and continue to form it in a way that it grabs the attention that you need. But yeah, that's what me I feel like we as creatives, we have a role to play, and that role should not be defined by any other person aside from us.
That was a very, very impactful one. And I enjoyed this
Thank
conversation.
you.
I wish we could talk for as long as we can.
Nice.
But I'm sure the message has been passed.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been able to pass the message, which is important.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming
welcome.
around. And if you enjoyed this content and you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe, like, comment, share. I'm sure there's somebody that will relate to one or two things that we have said today. See you on another episode. Bye.